What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, CEO, MTS Nutrition. All right, check it out, guys. So I got my Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Marc Lobliner, where I answer your questions. Just go there, ask a question. Of course, if I answer it on YouTube, which will also be posted on Facebook, you get a free tub, a 5-pound tub of MTS Nutrition Whey. The question today is from Cody Clothier. Clothier. Cody, congratulations. You win a 5-pound tub of whey. And I answer your question. How many days per week do you let your kids weight train in season of their sport? And does it differ if they have a block in the year with no sports? Abso-friggin-lutely. During the season, it depends on what's going on. Obviously, I don't want any soreness, and I also don't want them to atrophy or lose strength. My goal is strength preservation, not necessarily strength increase, but I want to preserve their strength for as long as I possibly can. So what I do during the season is, for athletes, I'm not worried about biceps, triceps. I'm not worried about bulging pecs. I'm not worried about quads. I'm not worried about hamstring development. I'm worried about performance and maintaining performance, speed, and development, not losing too much muscle or atrophying throughout the season. Now, during practice, they're going to do things like pillar prep. They're going to do plyos. They're going to do a lot of things that are factored in to weight training in the off season, so to speak. So what I'm really worried about is eliciting as much strength, as much muscular activation as possible in as little time as possible. I like to keep weight training sessions to about 2 to 3 times a week of about 20 to 30 minutes per session, factoring in adequate warm-up, including pillar prep, to help protect their ACLs, their knees, and all that good stuff. Make sure their balance is on point. Make sure to, alleviate any potential imbalances. And also, I want to then get straight into weight training, and I don't want any soreness or anything to impede their play on the field. So what I normally do is pretty simple. I have 2 days. I have a trap bar deadlift day where all we do is hex bar deadlifts. That's it. We just get in there, we hop in, we do hex bar deadlifts. We do 2 to 4 sets of 2 to 4 reps to basically elicit the most output possible. All concentric, no eccentric. The reason being, eccentric is what's going to cause your muscular trauma and soreness. Concentric is not going to cause that. So essentially, if I'm doing a trap bar deadlift, I want you to lift up, hold it at the top, drop it. Re-grab it, lift up, drop it. I don't want any eccentric movement. I don't want any soreness. I don't want any trauma. I want to elicit as much posterior chain load as possible. And then if we have time and energy, I would like to do a unilateral movement to help, again, balance out the imbalances. So I'll do something like single leg Romanian deadlift, something simple like that. And then on the other day, I'm going to do something really simple. I'm going to do a similar thing as I did. I'm going to do lighter squats. I don't want too much hypertrophy. There's no way to really do an all concentric and not eccentric squat. So I can't have them lift up and then drop it off their back. I'm not going to do that. I also don't want to break it up too much. So with squats, I'll generally choose a weight they can do in the off season for 10 reps, have them do about 2 to 3 sets. 5 reps, just get in there, get done, make sure that movement's in, the pattern's still in, and then I want to, basically work on any imbalances. Lateral lunges are great. Working on that, that movement, making sure that you're strong in all your adducting and abducting movements. And then I'm going to do something for the upper body, normally either push-ups, depending on the athlete, or an overhead press. Just something to elicit some kind of upper body tension to get working on that. So that'll be generally split into 2 to 3 days. Sometimes I will, depending on what sport they're playing, just do trap bar deadlifts. I do those 1 to 2 times a week, depending on the athlete, depending on what they're doing. But for my children, I absolutely make sure to get the hex bar deadlifts. And that's during the spring and fall seasons. Now, my kids are 10 and a half months out of the year they're playing. So I really don't have an off-season time where I can say, hey, here's our training program. If I was going to do that, I'd have a 4-day-a-week split, much like my my functional hypertrophy trainer on TigerFitness.com, where I'd have Monday I would do upper body push, Tuesday I would do lower body push, Wednesday I'd have off, Thursday I'd do lower body push, I do upper body pull. Friday, I do lower body pull. Now, what I would do with that is I'd factor in all their speed and strength training in there, where I'd have a pillar prep, movement prep, which would be, your plyometrics, things like that, world's greatest stretch, pillar prep, movement prep, and then I do strength, and then I move into more field work, like working on sprints, speed, wall drills, things like that. But for my children, since this question was directly about my children, since they play for their team 10 and a half months out of the year, they're always practicing, they're always either in camps or something, I generally keep what I do to pillar prep and strength training and let their sport-specific activity go to that. So I don't really have an off-season to train with. However, if I'm training football players, I do have an opportunity to have a strength-based 2-month period. You're damn right, I'm gonna focus on strength and I'm gonna get that done. But again, with athletes, the priority is always going to be on their skill. However, with a strength focused off season, you're able to focus on that strength. And when you increase the intensity or the force or the load of something like a trap bar deadlift, you're going to inherently increase that athlete's speed, power output, and a lot of other factors involved in the field. If you increase an athlete's overhead press, that's going to increase their balance on the field because they're working on their core. It's also going to improve their explosion, improve their vertical jump because their ability to use the upper body force and momentum for the jumps. There's a lot of things involved. So what I'm getting at, to answer the question, in season, during the season, I at least want to do hex bar deadlifts for 2 to 4 reps with maximal load output to make sure that we stimulate as much of the posterior chain as possible. Now, again, this question is fully loaded. I could talk about this for an hour. There are phases. I don't just take my kids where we're doing maximal 2 to 4 rep loads year round. There are times, for example, right now we're in a periodization of our training. We're doing 3 sets of 5 reps, basically because we worked our way up where, let's say, for example, my daughter used to struggle with 195 pounds, 185 pounds on the trap bar deadlift. Now she can do 235 pounds. So what she used to do 1 rep with 185, she can now do for 5 reps for 3 sets. So we're able to use working weight for what used to be her max weight. Do you understand what I'm getting at? So it all depends, but during the season, always make sure, unlike what you think, oh, just do bands and go light. No. During the season, just focus on the concentric, not the eccentric, to make sure you minimize the central nervous system fatigue and also to minimize soreness, because soreness will take away from performance, and that's not a game.